Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Warships with Rear Admiral Jingles, where today we are once again featuring one of my favourite ships ever, the Paolo Emilio, Italian destroyer, also known as the Yolo Emilio or just the Paolo Emiliolo. And if you don't know why, strap yourselves in and wait for the fun to commence. In the Paolo Emiliolo today we have Blitz the Brits. Yes, I see what you did there. In what looks like the Anzac clan. Actually, judging by most of the clan names, I'm pretty sure this is a North American server battle. On paper, this ship is absolutely terrible. She does have a lot of guns. 8 135mm guns in 4 turrets, but the reload is horrifically bad, with a base reload of 10.7 seconds. Although Blitz has managed to get this down to 9.9 seconds, which is still really bad. Her torpedoes. She does carry a lot of them. 12 torpedo tubes in total in 3 quadruple launchers, but only one of those launchers is able to fire over both sides of the ship, which means that at most you can get 8 torpedoes over one side and 4 torpedoes over the other. And the torpedoes have terrible range of only 6 kilometers, but they are pretty fast with a speed of 67 knots, although that's absolutely nothing compared to some of the Swedish torpedoes. But they do hit really hard, with a whopping nearly 24,000 damage per hit. But with only a 6 kilometer range, that pretty much means that you do have to close to suicide range in order to make use of these torpedoes. She is pretty fast though, with a base top speed of 43.5 knots and access to an emergency engine power consumable that gives you a 25% speed boost that lasts more than a minute. So the terrible guns and the ludicrously short-range torpedoes can work, however, thanks to the exhaust smoke generator. It doesn't have the regular smoke generator that you get on most other destroyers. Instead, it features the exhaust smoke generator that you get on Italian cruisers, which kind of makes sense because the Yolo Emilio isn't really a destroyer, it's more like a light cruiser. In fact, it was the predecessor of the Capitani Romani class of Italian light cruisers. And it kind of has a light cruiser stealth as well, with a base surface detection range of more than 10 kilometers. Although Blitz has managed to get that down to the still pretty terrible 7.1 kilometers. This exhaust smoke generator, of course, doesn't work like other destroyer smokescreen generators. In fact, it's a little bit more like the Commonwealth smokescreen generators, the creeping smoke, except with one major difference. Just like the exhaust smoke generators on Italian cruisers, this thing can go at full speed and stay hidden. And full speed on the Paolo Emiliolo, especially if you're using that engine boost, is really, really fast. At the moment, Blitz is sharing this cap circle with somebody else. Almost certainly one of the enemy destroyers. There are 4 destroyers on each team. Well, there were. His team have just lost one of them. So, not a great start. Not a terrible start, it's just one destroyer after all. His team have taken the cap circle at Alpha, the enemy team are in the process of taking the cap circle at Bravo, and they are contesting the cap circle here at Charlie. The thing is, destroyer on destroyer fights are really not what the Paolo Emiliolo is for. I mean, those 8 135mm guns can theoretically land a big hit in one go, with the semi-armor piercing shells theoretically capable of doing over 3,000 damage per hit. But then you have to wait 10 seconds to reload, and you can take a lot of damage from an enemy destroyer in 10 seconds. However, it does look as if the enemy destroyer has quit the cap circle at the moment. He's given up contesting it. And there he is. No, he's coming back. I fear he is about to regret that hasty decision. Torpedoes away. 8 in total. Remember, each of these torpedoes can do up to 24,000 damage. So it's only going to take one of them to give that Mayhan a really, really bad day. Oh, it looks like he's managed to dodge them. He's probably going to have his own torpedoes coming, of course. Yep, there they are. Plodding along. Benson torpedoes. The only thing slower than a Benson torpedo is the speed at which Wargaming responds to player feedback. Where's he gone? Yep, there he is. Shots out. Oh, he's managed to angle away. Now he's doing the smart thing here and he's kiting away from Blitz. He is returning fire, of course. but he's only got 2 turrets at the rear and they're single-barreled. Oh, the team have lost another ship, the Eendracht, one of the swamp German cruisers. This is not looking good. The Mayhan's smoked up, but Blitz is still spotted. As for who's spotting him, well, it could be anybody. 3 of the 4 enemy destroyers are actually over on this side of the map now, with the Cossack and the Bliskovica. Sorry, Poland, I still don't know how to pronounce the name of that ship. Heading over here to contest Charlie after flipping the central cap at Bravo. Oh, wait, no, good news. Scratch 1 Polish Tier 7 destroyer. Somebody has actually managed to sink something that isn't a member of Blitz's team. He's closing in on that Mayhan smoke screen. Is the Mayhan going to be dumb enough to stay inside the smoke? Let's find out. Oh, somebody's managed to sink the Cossack as well. This is really good news as far as Blitz is concerned. The less enemy destroys around, the better when you're in this ship. Closing in on that smoke screen. The team have just managed to recapture Charlie. The enemy team still hold Bravo, and they're now in the process of flipping Alpha as well, and they've just managed to sink the friendly Jervis, so they now also have a 2-to-1 kill advantage. Where's that Mayhan? Has he done the smart thing and gotten the hell out of that smoke screen? It looks like he might have. Well done, Mayhan. You... Oh, wait, no, he hasn't. Oh, dear. I was under the impression that he was smart enough to maybe stand a decent chance of one day growing up to be a Benson. And that may happen, but it won't be today. Well, there's his first kill, and that's activated the Far Reach talent, which means he's got Luigi Sansonetti as his captain, although that's a fairly weak talent. You can only get it once per battle. It activates on getting a kill, and it extends the range of your main gun battery by 8%. Nice smoke screen, by the way, Mr. Mayhan. American smoke screens do last a long time, and Blitz is definitely going to take advantage of this, particularly while he can stay hidden in open water and enemy ships are spotted. So far we haven't really had much of a demonstration of exactly what it is that the Paolo Emiliolo is good at. But don't worry, we will. Right now, in fact, there goes the engine boost, there goes the exhaust smoke generator. Here it comes. With that engine boost active, look at the speed. 45, 46, 50 knots, 52 knots, 55 knots, 58 knots. Can we do 59? There it is, 59. Can we do 60? Not quite. And of course it's an exhaust smoke generator, so he can stay completely hidden while moving at full speed. He'll stay hidden until either the exhaust smoke generator runs out, which it is about to, or he gets to within 2 kilometers of his target, which at the moment is that Monarch, who must be shitting bricks. Because when you see a smoke screen charging towards you at 60 knots and there's a Paolo Emiliolo on the enemy team, that can only mean one thing. You are about to eat 8 24,000 damage torpedoes. And that, kids, is what this ship is all about. It's kind of feast or famine. It's extremely high risk gameplay. You either pull it off successfully and you end up looking like an utter rock star, or it all goes horribly, horribly wrong and you end up looking like a complete and utter idiot. And I like that. I think it's the perfect balance of risk versus reward. Obviously, the better a player you are, the less the element of risk involved. Knowing your enemy is vitally important, because things like radar and hydro can shut you down hard. It doesn't matter how clever you think you are inside your exhaust smoke screen if the ship that you're charging down has got high explosive loaded because he knows you're coming and he's got 6-kilometer hydro, or even worse, he's a radar cruiser. Or there's an enemy radar cruiser nearby, because it's not just all about the target that you're going for, and that's the downfall of a lot of Paolo Emiliolo captains. They tunnel vision in on the one target that they know they're probably going to sink, but they don't bother to stop and think about what's going to happen afterwards, when that exhaust smoke generator dies and you're sitting there in open water with half a dozen enemy cruisers shooting at you. Getting in and getting that strike off against the target and the Paolo Emiliolo is not that difficult. Getting yourself safely out again afterwards when you're a target as big as this, and this is a very, very big destroyer, with stealth as bad as this, that's a different matter entirely. And it's what tends to trip up most captains of this ship. They focus on the short-term glory, and they don't consider the consequences. So what's Blitz up to now? The team is still way behind on points, and it's getting worse rather than getting better. The enemy team do still have one destroyer. And he's spotted, and he's miles away. Oh, that's really good news. The Yugamo's on low health, and it looks like he's chasing after Blitz's division mate. Well, that's what we call a U problem, mate. His stealth is still too bad, really, for him to actively contest this cap, because it is full of enemy ships. I mean, he could rush in there and get the torpedoes away, but again, getting out, different matter entirely. So instead, that Pommern is looking very, very vulnerable, and most of the other enemy ships are on the far side of the island and cannot fire back. So, torpedoes out, exhaust smoke up, because he doesn't want to get plastered by the Pommern's secondaries. And unlike Italian cruisers and battleships that have this exhaust smoke generator, he doesn't have a crippling smoke firing penalty, so he is actually able to stay undetected while inside this smoke screen. Looks like he's only going to get the one torpedo here, but they do hit pretty hard, and the Pommern is also being blasted by the friendly Alaska. That is probably going to be a kill. Oh, he's detected. Needs to get out of here. Plus, the smoke screen's about to die anyway. A couple of shots out. And the Alaska does manage to finish him off. So, that's good. We definitely need more of that. And unfortunately, the Alaska has gone down. So, the enemy team are still 300 points ahead. They still hold 2 of the 3 caps. And they have a 1 kill advantage. So, not a great situation, but don't worry. This is World of Warships. It can always get worse. The enemy team have just nailed the friendly Pommern. Although Blitz's division mate in the Siegfried has managed to take out the enemy Nagato, so the enemy team are still just 1 kill, 300 points, and 2 cap circles ahead. I do feel as if this situation calls for a futile and pointless gesture. I mean, there are only 4 ships left alive on his team. They're all on various degrees of low health, and most of the enemy team have at least half of their hit points remaining. None of Blitz's consumables are active, but, well, this is still a very, very fast ship. He's doing in excess of 45 knots. The guns are loaded. Hopefully, he can do some damage while they're preoccupied with kicking the rest of his teammates to death. There's a swamp German ship over there. He's on very low health, and don't forget, these semi-armor piercing shells theoretically can do more than 3,000 damage each. Oh, the Edinburgh got him. The Edinburgh actually got him with his secondaries. So, that's good. He did give his position away there, but, well, the 7 Provinces was the only one capable of spotting him, so as soon as he died, he went undetected. He's got a nice big landmass between himself and all of those enemy ships. It'd be nice to know exactly where the Yugamo was, although he's been spotted by aircraft anyway, so hey, what the hell. More importantly, there's an Ibuki up there who just got a massive bitch slapping, launched some extremely optimistic torpedoes, and is now giving a nice big fat broadside to these 135mm guns. Scratch one Ibuki. Even more importantly, all of his consumables are about to come off cooldown, as he dodges some rocket fire from the Kearsarge, or Kearsarge, or I don't know how you pronounce it. Exhaust smoke is ready to go. 16 seconds until he can activate his speed boost, and there's a beautiful big fat iceberg sitting between him and his 2 remaining victims. It looks like somebody took care of the Yugamo for him as well, which is jolly nice. He's also capping. Is he going to wait to finish capping? Or is he just going to go for it? Because all of his consumables are now ready to go. Oh, there goes the engine boost. He's going for it. Actually, the cap circle boundary is far enough away. There goes the exhaust smoke generator. I wonder if he's timed this properly. And yes, he is going to be able to get the cap at the same time. He's not giving anything up. The problem here now, of course, is that smoke screens work both ways. They can't see him, although they can see his smoke screen, and he can't see them. So he's having to navigate by the minimap. But at this speed, he's going to get to within 2 kilometers. There it is, an assured detection distance really, really soon.
Surprise, motherfucker!
There goes the Johan de Witt. And he's now close enough to also see the Kearsarge, and he still has 2 torpedo launchers ready for him. Choo-choo, motherfucker! There's a certain grim inevitability to all of this, really, isn't there? And remember, 24,000 damage per torpedo, so he only really needs 2, maybe 3. It's probably going to be 3. There's the high caliber, and there's the Kraken Unleashed. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, blitz the Brits in the Paolo Emiliolo. Live fast, die young, and leave a good-looking corpse. Take care, folks. Stay safe, and I'll catch you next time.